You know, batteries are a vital element of RV life, and they can make or break your weekend. Understanding what crazy terms and data that are printed on the battery itself may be your saving grace. Unfortunately, all batteries look pretty much the same. It's the design and engineering inside that make the differences, and you really can't see it, so you need to rely on the specifications to know if you have the right one or if it'll even last long enough for your weekend. The first thing you need to know about vehicle type batteries is that there are two common types. You have deep cycle batteries and you have starter type batteries. Deep cycle batteries have more long-term energy delivery, and that is all of those devices inside your RV or your home, your light bulbs, your air conditioning, your microwave, all of those types of things need that long-term energy. And they're measured in amp hours and reserve capacity. That's a capacity type measurement. On the other hand, your starter type battery delivers that quick burst of energy that turns the starter, that starts your motor. And it's measured in cranking amps, which are cold cranking amps, marine cranking amps, or just cranking amps. So you may be wondering, well, what's the difference inside the container of those batteries that allow the deep cycle battery to sustain that energy and the starter battery just to give that punch of energy to start the motor? And that is, each battery has lead plates inside them that store that energy or deliver that current to start the motor. So inside a deep cycle battery, you have really thick lead plates and very few of them. On the other hand, on a starter type battery, you have very thin plates and a lot more of them. This is the technology behind the batteries that allow them to do the different things. So you can see just how important it is to buy the right battery for the right situation. The trouble with batteries to regular users like you and I is the industry labels the batteries in many different ways. The cranking measurements are typically for starting batteries, but you also have amp hours, which is a measurement that looks at capacity. For example, if you have 5 amps that you're drawing from your RV and you use that for 20 hours and it depletes your battery, 5 times 20 is 100 amp hours. And what that's trying to tell you is this type of battery that has amp hours on the label has that sustained usage capability. A rule of thumb is if your battery doesn't have amp hours on the label, you have a starter battery. And it's probably going to talk a lot about marine cranking amps versus amp hours.